What's going on, community groups? I'm so glad that you're able to meet today. We are in our series, Questions from God, and today's question comes from Mark chapter 10, verses 46 through 52, and allow me to just read those with you really quickly. The passage says this: They came to Jericho, and as he was leaving Jericho with his disciples and a large crowd, Bartimaeus, the son of Timaeus, a blind beggar, was sitting by the road. And when he heard that it was Jesus of Nazareth, he began to cry out, "Jesus, Son of David, have mercy on me." And many warned him to keep quiet, but he was crying out all the more, "Have mercy on me, Son of David." And Jesus stopped and said, "Call him." So they called the blind man and said to him, "Have courage, get up, he's calling for you." And he threw off his coat, jumped up, and came to Jesus. Then Jesus answered him, "What do you want me to do for you?" "Rabboni," the blind man said to him, "I want to see." And Jesus said to him, "Go, your faith has saved you." Immediately he could see and began to follow Jesus. This question today, what do you want me to do for you, is heavy. It's rich. There's a lot to process, and I feel like Pastor Chris has done an excellent job of presenting this information to us. And I want to draw our attention to one of the things that Bartimaeus says. Right up front, when he's interacting with Jesus, he cries out and says, "Jesus, Son of David." And this term, this name, Son of David, has a rich Jewish heritage. There's a lot that's represented in this name. In particular, it was designated for the anticipated Messiah in the Old Testament prophecies. Now, unfortunately, what we see with Jesus leading up to this, is in Jesus' day, this name was so open to interpretation that Jesus avoided using it for himself, even though he was the Messiah. But none of that really concerned Bartimaeus. What we see with Bartimaeus is that though he didn't understand messiahship as Jesus did, he did express faith and with courage and persistence. And that's important for us today. When it comes to figuring out where we stand with Jesus, we have to understand that we don't have to have it all figured out. But what Jesus invites us to do is come to him with courage and persistence in faith. What Bartimaeus was concerned with what Jesus was able to provide for him. He was not concerned with the rebukes that people had for him. Those things wouldn't keep him silent. He called Jesus by a fitting title because he knew that Jesus was the one who could answer his prayers. Bartimaeus prayed in confidence that Jesus is the Messiah, and his prayer was effective. What Pastor Chris was able to tell us this week is that effective prayer requires us praying in Jesus' name. By acknowledging him as Messiah. Effective prayer requires humility. Effective prayer requires specificity. And effective prayer requires faith. So community group, as you go through these questions today, I want to encourage you that you don't have to struggle with prayer. The beauty of community groups is that we get to practice and grow together. This ought to be a healthy environment that fosters growing faith. And so, community group, what I encourage you to do today is practice effective prayer together, because Jesus has so much to offer and we have so much to gain. Be blessed.